Am I audible now, Ma? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir. It's good.
Okay, fine. Very good. Right. Before starting this class, I would like to discuss a few things, and we'll have an interactive session so that to know that where you are and where I should start. So, what is the basic difference between electrical and electronics? What is the difference between these two terms? This is a general discussion. You don't feel shy to answer these questions. So, what is the basic difference between the terms electrical and electronics? Anyone can respond. One. Yeah, anyone? Sham or Pavan, Aditya?
Sir, high voltage and low voltage.
Okay, high voltage and low voltage is the difference between electrical and electronics.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyone else? Any other answers? Any other answers, ma? See, don't think if you're answering it correctly or not.
Semiconductor devices, electronics.
Very good. Semiconductor devices comes under electronics, and electrical.
Main appliances we use like motors.
Okay. So main applications like motors and all come into electrical. Okay, good. Okay, very good, Sham. I appreciate your answers and coming forward to answer this. Now, when the electrical engineering started, it started with conductors and insulators. So they installed power generation or power transmission and distribution with the help of conductors and insulators. So conductors, as you know, they are used to transfer electrons or to transfer the electrical power, in other words, right? This you know that. And later on, when did this power electronics start, ma? Around, you can say, 1950s. So when thyristor was invented, after that, slowly the implementation of power electronic devices started increasing. So now if you observe, electrical basically starts with the usage of conductors, and whatever is designed with conductors, generally they started calling them as electrical or electric in nature. Then slowly, after the invention of these 1950s, the invention of the SCR and earlier transistor was invented, they started thinking of electronics. Why they were called as electronic devices? Yes, ma, Sham, I think you may answer this. Sham, are you there? Or anyone from this can answer. Aditya, Pavan, or Anirudh. Am I audible, ma?
To control the flow of electrons.
Okay, to control the flow of electrons. So I think I've asked you about electronics, right? Electronics deals with the the semiconductor devices. Okay, so these semiconductor devices, they have a little different characteristics from that of the conductors. So they started calling the equipment which is manufactured with semiconductors as electronics. And as you know, these semiconductor devices can deal with low power devices. I mean, they are classified as, they are called mostly, they are used for low power applications. Okay, so this is how the basic starting with electrical and electronics has started. And then now power electronics. What is power electronics, ma? What is this power electronics? Using those semiconductor devices, okay, modifying their characteristics a little and using those semiconductor devices for high power applications. So when we are using those semiconductor devices for high power applications, okay, we call those as power electronic devices. So they are also called as power semiconductor devices. Am I clear to all of you? Am I clear, ma? Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what is power electronics, ma? What are these power electronic devices? No one is responding.
Thyristors.
No, I just now told you what is power electronics.
Which deals with
Electronic-
semiconductor.
Very good, very good. Semiconductor devices which are used for high power applications. So you know that in electronics, we see that these semiconductor devices are used for low power applications. But in power electronics, we are using those semiconductor devices for high power applications. Okay, ma. So that is what we are learning here in power electronics. As we are using semiconductor devices for high power applications, we are calling this subject or this as power electronics, but not power electricals. Okay, is that clear, ma? Yes, okay. Now, Sudhakar Reddy sir shared me your marks. I'll just show you your marks and I'll tell you where you have gone wrong. I'll share my screen. Okay, please note down your marks. Okay, ma. Is my screen visible, ma? Is the slide visible? What are you seeing on my screen? I've shared my screen. Marks, yeah.
Mark sheet, sir.
Yeah, you can make a note of your marks. Soon after this, I'll tell you where you have lost marks. I think you might have noted your marks by now. You can just note your marks. Okay. Right. Now, I will discuss. I came to know that you lost marks with your devices, right? Some of you have drawn diodes instead of thyristors. Why the answer goes wrong, ma, if you draw diode? If you draw a diode instead of a thyristor, why your answer is wrong, ma? Can anyone tell me? If you draw a simple diode instead of a thyristor,
So because it is not a power like a power electronics device, na, sir?
Uncontrolled.
Diode.
Uncontrolled.
very good, uncontrolled device. It is not a complete power electronic device. Yes, we also have power diodes. Okay, but power diodes are different from these diodes. So that is why you should not draw a diode. So most of them have lost marks for drawing a diode, and some of you have drawn the connections in a different way. That is, I'll just show you. I'll show you a circuit. I'll show you a not this, yeah, this one. Some of you have not drawn these connections correctly. Okay, some of them have drawn these joint connected. I mean, these two are connected to the same legs. Okay, and some of you have drawn diodes instead of thyristors. So drawing a diode instead of thyristor is also wrong. It is not a control device. We call a thyristor only as a control device, or you can call the other transistor device as control device, but you cannot call a diode a control device. Why can't we call a diode a control device, ma? Why a diode is not a control device? See, what is this? What is this device? What is this device, ma?
Diode.
Yeah, diode. Why don't we call this as a control device? Why do we call this as an uncontrolled device? Yes? Diode is a switch which can just turn on and turn off. If you are using a diode, you can just turn on or turn off. That's all. Okay, you cannot control. I mean, whenever you want to turn on, you cannot do that. You cannot turn on a diode whenever you wish to, by its prerequisite condition of forward biasing. How do you turn off? How do you turn on a diode? What is the basic condition for turning on a diode? Yes, ma, is my screen visible to everyone? Are you observing my screen? Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this case, will the diode turn on? The circuit which I have drawn here, will the diode turn on? What is the condition for the diode to turn on?
Forward bias.
Yeah, forward bias condition. So if this diode, if you can provide a higher potential at this point, which is greater than this potential, which can surpass the forward bias voltage of this diode. Okay, this voltage provided must be greater than the forward biased voltage of this. Okay, VFB you might have drawn. Okay, if that is greater than this, then the diodes conduct. Okay, then the diode conducts. If not, the diode doesn't conduct. So this is the condition. So generally, we give a supply which can provide this, and we can turn on a diode. Okay, but in a thyristor, if you observe a thyristor, what is the difference in that of a thyristor? Now, if you take a the same circuit with a simple diode here, I mean thyristor here instead of this, what will happen now? Simply if I connect like this, can I conduct? I mean, can this thyristor turn on and can it conduct? Will this, in this circuit, will the SCR conduct, ma?
No, sir.
Can the SCR turn on immediately? No. Now, if I give a pulse signal, I'll give a pulse signal here. Okay. I am giving a pulse which is providing a gate current which can provide some anode current as a resultant here. Now what will happen? Now, if I give a gate current which can create the minimum latching current of the thyristor, then what happens?
Conduction starts.
Yeah, conduction starts. So here you can control this, okay, this device or this pulse, this gate signal, by controlling this gate current. You can turn on the SCR, but don't say that it is a controlled turn off device. Thyristor is not a controlled turn off device. Let me put it to you here, okay, or I'll put it here. SCR is a controlled turn on device. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this, ma? What do I mean by SCR is a controlled turn on device? I did not say control turn off. Why I am not saying turn off here? Can I turn off the SCR by its own or by using something from the gate signal? Now, diode is a uncontrolled device. Okay, why we are saying this is an uncontrolled device? It can just turn on and off, but it cannot control the circuit. Only when based on the forward bias condition, based on the reverse bias condition, it can turn on. But whenever you want to, you cannot turn it on, and whenever you want to, you cannot turn it off. So that is the basic difference. So in this circuit, okay, it will continuously conduct. Suppose if you take an AC supply, okay, so now here what happens is, here in this case, the conduction starts from the beginning. But here, will the conduction starts from the beginning? Does the conduction starts from the beginning? Will the conduction starts from the beginning, ma? Does it start from the beginning? This is the output current. So here in the first case, the output current, this can flow whenever the diode is forward biased. Okay, and here I am giving a gate pulse here. So now tell me what will be the output here. This is IG. Okay, this is IG. IG is the gate current, and this is IA or IO, which is the output current, which is the current that flows through the thyristor here or through the resistor. Okay, now tell me, when does I naught flow? In this case, in the second case, when does I naught flow? Will the I naught flow from the beginning? I'll pick from Mohan, Vamshi. Vamshi, are you there? Nagavamshi? Nagavamshi, are you there, ma? Okay. So when will this conduction start? Will it start from the beginning? Will the thyristor start its conduction from the beginning? Now, when will it start then? Pardon? Supply. No. You are not correct. Okay. Any others can answer, ma?
When we are giving gate pulse.
Yeah, very good, Sai Ganesh. Only when we give the gate pulse. So whenever we have given the gate pulse, okay, so the conduction starts from this instant. Okay, so from here onwards, it starts. So that is why SCR is called as a control device. But can we turn off here? Suppose if I want to turn off this, yes, ma'am. Can I do this in this SCR? Can I turn it off whenever I want? I cannot do that. Why I cannot do that? Yes, ma'am. No answers again. Are you listening?
Because it is controlled turn on device.
Is only a control turn on device. but we cannot control the turn off. So if I want to have a controlled turn off, what devices are preferable? I cannot use a diode, you know that. I cannot use an SCR. But what are the other devices if I want to use for a controlled turn off process also? Yes, ma'am. What are the other devices you might have studied in the first unit, right? Different devices which are used for power electronics or which are classified under power electronic devices. What are they? No one is again answering. What need to can answer me? Natya. What devices can I use if I want to have a control turn off? Aditya is not there in the class then. Akhil are there, ma? Some of them are there, but not there in the class at the same time. Akhil?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So which devices I can use if I want to have a controlled turn off? Okay, I'll name few devices for that case. You may answer. So diode, and then you have a thyristor here, and I have a transistor, and I also have an IGBT and a MOSFET. So please tell me which type of devices can I say that they can have a controlled turn off also. Yes, ma'am. So this is a transistor, this is an IGBT, and this is a MOSFET. Tell me, out of all these 5 devices, which can be called as a controlled turn off device? Why is this? Huh? So transistor family devices. Okay, transistor family devices. Okay, they are controlled turn off also. I'm using the word also. The reason is they already have the property of controlled turn on. Okay, so these 3. What is this, ma? What is this switch? What is this, ma? Transistor. Okay, so transistor can be used as a control turnout device. IGBT can be used as a control turnout device, and MOSFET can also be used as a control turnout device. Why? The reason is when we turn on, see here, you can just turn on by using a gate pulse, and turn off cannot be controlled by using an SCR. That is why we are using some additional circuits in order to turn off the SCR. What are those circuits called, ma? What are those circuits which are used to turn off the SCR are called, ma? I'm surprised, ma, no one is answering. Am I not reachable? Keshav? Keshav, can you answer, ma? What are the circuits which are used to turn off the SCR called as?
Thinking, sir.
Computation. Computation circuits. You have listened to that or not?
Yes, sir. Computation.
Yeah.
circuits.
Computation circuits. Okay. Let me tell you once again. So you must be very clear with the terminology. Okay. If you say turn on, okay, turn on or firing or switch on or firing, these all mean the same. Okay. If I say on or firing or switch on or triggering, so all these mean the same. What do they mean? They mean that the switch is turned on. Okay. So these all mean the same. And there is another category, and that category is turn off. Okay. Or commutation. Commutation means changing the path of current. See, the word commutation basically means that changing the path of the current. We have a commutator in a DC motor or a DC generator. The reason is there the current is split or the current is changed into different directions. There you are going to convert it into uniform to different direction current or different direction current to uniform direction. So that is why there also in DC motors and DC generators we call that as a commutator, because it is changing the path of the current. So here also we can turn off the device by changing the path of the current. Okay, so that is why turn off is also called as commutation or switch off. Okay, ma. So different words are used for the same purpose, like turn off commutation or switch off. Okay, ma'am, right? And for turn on, we can use different words like firing, switching, triggering, or turn on. Okay. Now if you take a simple switch like a diode, okay, diode is an uncontrolled device. So once it turns on, it goes on. That's all. Suppose if you take, so this is the output which you get for a diode for the same circuit if you are using a diode there. Okay. Now, if you use an SCR, okay, for a DC supply there, for an SCR, what are you going to get? For an SCR, whenever you give the gate pulse, suppose here if I am giving the gate pulse, then I'll get the output from this point, and the output, the turn off is not possible in the case of an SCR. So if you want turn off, what is required in a SCR? If I want to have a turn off also, what is required? If I want to have a turn off control, what should I have, ma? If I want to turn off the SCR at this point, what should I have? I should have a commutation circuit. I should have a additional circuit, okay, which can turn off the SCR using voltage commutation or current commutation, auxiliary commutation, okay, any other commutation technique. Suppose if I use an IGBT, okay, if I use a simple transistor, okay, I'll take a BJT transistor, right? Or I use a FET transistor, or if I use a IGBT transistor, or if I use a MOSFET transistor, okay, I can use these types of transistors, and then I can control the turn on and turn off also. So I can turn on whenever I require it, and I can turn off whenever I require. Okay, but they have some disadvantages. What are those? What are the disadvantages I am going to have if I have to turn on and turn off like this? Yes, ma, I want to have this as an interactive class. I request everyone to respond. It is not a one-way class. Even if your answer is wrong, nothing is going to, I am not going to scold you, or I am not going to scold you, right? So please answer this. Is my question clear, ma? I am asking you, what is the disadvantage in this case? If in a BJT or FET or IGBT or MOSFET, I can turn on and turn off. But why we are studying more about these SCRs in this power electronics? Yes, ma. Reason? Okay. Anyone knows that, or do I have to answer that? Anirudh, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is your answer, ma? Can you answer this? Why? What are the disadvantages? You observed that these IGBTs or MOSFETs or transistors, you can control them turn on, and you can control their turn off also. But what is the problem if we do that?
I don't find any problem in that, sir. I have no idea in that, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, no problem. Right. Okay. Let me answer this. So the problem here is if you want to turn on and turn off, okay, the control is better. But the problem is you have to create a base signal or a gate signal which must be given for the turn on to the turn off. So this gate signal for an IGBT or a MOSFET, or the base signal of a transistor, pardon, the gate signal or the base signal of the transistor must be given from the turn on to the turn off. So we are wasting a lot of energy here. So power or energy is wasted from this point of time to this point of time. So this is the disadvantage. Okay. Apart from that, if you observe an SCR, if you can just turn it on, okay, it can be useful. Suppose if you go for an AC, what will happen for an AC? If you take a diode, if I implement a diode for the same circuit, okay, so the circuit is like this. Okay, this is DC supply. Okay, and here I am using a switch. I am not drawing the switch because I am replacing the switch with a diode, SCR, and IGBT MOSFET family. Okay, ma. Is this clear, ma? Is this visible to everyone? So here this switch, okay, in the first case this switch is a diode, in the second case the switch is SCR, I am replacing the switch with SCR, and in the third case it may be any transistor family switch and it is controlled by a gate signal. So if I take a this one, so what will happen here, ma? I'll get only a positive half cycle. Why I am not getting negative half cycle if I use a diode? If I use a diode here, I am not going to get a negative cycle. Why, ma? Why I will not get a negative cycle there? Why I will not get a negative cycle? Pranay? Are you there, ma? Pranay? Praneeth?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So why I will not get a negative cycle if I use a diode, ma? There? In a positive half, in a circuit, in this circuit. So here I have a AC supply. Okay. Suppose instead of this switch, if I use a diode here, okay, I will not get a negative half cycle. Why? I will get a positive half cycle only. Why? The diode conducts only for forward biased condition. So whenever the diode, okay, if I use a diode here, okay, instead of this switch, what I am doing now, I am using a diode here. So if I use a diode here, the diode will conduct only for the positive half cycle. So here,
Yes, sir.
the diode conducts only for the positive half cycle, and the conduction takes place only for the positive half cycle. So I am going to get only the positive half cycle.
Positive half cycle.
Okay, ma'am? Right? You understood this?
Yes, sir.
Suppose instead of a diode, if I am using a thyristor, then what will happen? Anyone, any other person can answer. Any other? Mohan or Sunil, anyone can answer this, ma? Aman Kumar. What will happen if I use a thyristor here? If I use an SCR here, what will happen? Will I get the same? Will I get the same? Or can I get a variable output? Will I get the same output if I use an SCR, ma? Yes, ma. Will I get the same output, ma?
No, sir.
No. So how it will vary? How it can vary? I can get a variable output.
According to
Triggering pulse.
according to pulse rating, sir.
Very good, very good. Suppose if I give a pulse here at the starting, I'll get the output complete waveform. Suppose if I give the pulse here, okay, then I'll get the output from this point. Suppose if the pulse is given here, okay, then I'll get the output from this point. So this is what happens. So here, as the pulse is delayed, we are going to get the output. Okay, ma? So as the pulse is delayed, okay, so depending on the pulse, wherever I give the pulse, suppose if I give the pulse here, okay, suppose if I give the pulse here, okay, then I'm going to get the output from this point. So this is controlled output. So that is why we call it as a silicon controlled rectifier. Why do we call this as an SCR? Silicon controlled rectifier. So we are able to control the output. The output is controlled, and as this is made up of silicon, this is called as a silicon controlled rectifier. So if I use an IGBT, sorry, if I use an SCR, so this is how I am going to get the output. I can not only get a complete waveform, but I can also get a variable output. So I can get a complete waveform and a complete sinusoidal half wave, or I can get a variable. I can start from here or from this point or from this point. I can vary the output by varying the triggering angle of the SCR. You know that triggering angle is termed with alpha, is coined with alpha, and alpha is calculated from 0 to 180 degrees here, because we take this sinusoidal signal from 0 to 360 degrees. You all know this, right? So we take this as 0 because this is a complete cycle or a circle which is repeating after 360 degrees. So that is why we take this alpha value. As you can trigger this from 0 to 180 degrees, we can vary the alpha value or triggering angle or firing angle, whatever you call it, from 0 to 180 degrees, you can get variable output. And after this, even the SCR will not conduct. As you know, the SCR goes into reverse mode condition, and you cannot turn it on in this reverse mode condition. So you can get only the positive half cycle here also. Okay, ma? That is this clear to everyone, ma? Is this clear to everyone, ma? Please ask me if you have any doubts. Please ask me. Don't hesitate to ask doubts. If you have any doubts, No doubt is a silly doubt. Every doubt is a valid doubt. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. Don't hesitate. Is this clear, ma? Because this is one of the important circuits. See, using power electronics nowadays, we are not using conductors and insulators to control power systems. Do you know that? We are having lot of power electronic devices. Okay, without these power electronic devices, we would not have gone to high voltage and extra high voltage. Okay, we have gone for high voltage, extra high voltage DC transmission. All these are possible only because of power electronic devices. And if you see electric vehicles, okay, what is the how the electric vehicle runs? What are the components of an electric vehicle? Anyone can answer. Sohail Ahmed, what are the components of electric vehicle, ma? What do you have in an electric vehicle? Sunil? No one is answering. I think they are just coming to the class for attendance. Ashrita?
Motors, induction motors, inverters.
Yeah, we have a motor, electric motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Okay, then we have a battery supplies electrical energy from chemical energy, and we also have a converter. Okay, so if you observe an electric vehicle, I'll draw a simple circuit diagram for an electric vehicle. Okay, so an electric vehicle consists of a motor. Okay, ma. So this motor, okay, requires a converter. You cannot directly give it from a battery. Okay, so you have a converter. Okay, this converter may be an inverter, or this converter may be a rectifier, or okay, it may be anything depending on the motor which we use there. So here we have the battery. Okay, I'll simply write here battery. I don't want to waste time. So this is a simple block diagram of an electric vehicle. So you have a motor here, electrical motor. Okay, and you have a converter. The function of the converter is to provide the motor the required voltage and current in order to get the desired speed and torque conditions. Okay, ma? So this you are going to study in the next semester in a subject called as power semiconductor drives. Okay, ma? So that subject is called as power semiconductor drives. Okay, power semiconductor drives. Okay, in some areas this is also called as static drives. Why static drives, ma? Anyone can answer? Why can we call this as static drives? What is meant by static? What is meant by static, ma? What is static? Yes, ma. What is static, ma? What is meant by static, ma? No one is answering. Why? Yeah, power semiconductor drive. Drive means a combination of electric motor and converter and the supply. So here you can say an electric vehicle is a drive. Lift is a drive. Okay, conveyor belt, it is a drive. Okay, escalator, it is a drive. So all these are drives. If you see the installed escalators, lifts and all, they are all controlled with the help of electronic converters. Is this clear, ma? So this is the converter, right? So now if you observe this power electronics, so if you observe any motor control like electric vehicles or any other drives like escalators, lifts, hoists, and nowadays we are getting the pump sets with power PV panels. You might have observed in some villages, some companies, some entrepreneurs are coming up with a very good solar plant. They'll have a solar panel, they'll have a small battery, and they have a motor which can drill out the water or which can be used for irrigation purposes. So earlier this was not possible. Okay, the reason was the motor requires high starting torque in the beginning, but a solar PV panel cannot give that high starting torque, that cannot give high starting current. But they have come out with a power electronic device which can boost some energy from the battery, some from the solar panel, or different configurations. Okay, we have different configurations of converters. Okay, and with the help of the latest advances in those converters, they are able to drive the motor even in the starting okay, where high torque requirement is required and where high current is required, okay, and even at normal conditions. So this is possible only because of power electronic devices. Am I audible, ma? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Are you understanding what I'm saying, ma? I think I am not in the class. Others are in the class, but I am not in the class. Anirudh, am I audible, ma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a problem from my side, so I'm not turning on my mic.
No, there is problem from everyone's side. I hope so. not technical issue. It is mental issue. Huh? I think you are absent. I mean, physically present but mentally absent. I request everyone to be active in the class. The reason is this subject is one of the hot cakes which you can do your project in the future. Not only in the project, but it will also help you out when you do your masters outside, or when you if you want to join a job also, like in electric vehicle side, or if you want to set up a company on your own. This subject is very useful to you, so please listen to this carefully. So here I told you that this drive, so this converter, so we are going to study about these converters in this subject. Okay, so we are going to study about these converters, right? So now if you observe in the first unit, what is the converter you have studied, ma? In the first unit you have studied the basics, right? Basics of operation. You have studied the basics of converters, or basics of semiconductor devices. Okay, so now in the second unit, what you have studied, ma? What was the second unit?
Rectifiers.
Yeah, you have studied about single phase rectifiers, right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have studied about single phase converters. So single phase converter converts. What does it convert, ma? What does it convert? It converts AC to DC. To be more specific, it converts fixed AC to variable DC, right? And then you have also studied about three-phase converters. Anyhow, I am going to revise three-phase converters also. Now when we have single-phase AC converters, why are we going for three-phase converters? Yes, ma, anyone can answer this. Why are we interested in going for three-phase converters? Again, no answer. Yeah, why are we going for this when we have this single-phase AC supplies, single-phase converters? Why are we preferring three-phase converters? Yes, ma. Anyone? Nikhil?
Sir, load due to the heavy load, sir, for three-phase we will use.
Very good, very good. Your answer is correct. And there are any other answers? Any other answers, ma? So this is how the pulse number comes. Okay. So what do you mean by if I use a single phase AC converter? Okay, in one cycle I can get 2 pulses. So if I can convert this in a single phase, right? Suppose if I take this, sorry, I am not able to draw properly, but I'll try to make the maximum effort to draw this. So this is a single phase AC supply. So these are 2 cycles here. So if I get an output for using a single phase rectifier, then I am going to get 2 pulses. Okay, I am going to get 2 pulses into what I mean to say is these are the 2 pulses. So this is called as a 2 pulse converter. Okay, so in this 2 pulse converter, if you go for RL like that, RL and all the types of loads, the current will not be the same as the sinusoidal wave, but it will change, as you know, right? You know this, right? The current will be something like this, right? So here the nature of discontinuity will be larger. So if you use a 2 pulse converter, the nature of current, the current will be discontinuous and it is not as smooth. Okay, but suppose if you go for a 3-phase converter, I'll draw it from here. If I go for a 3-phase converter, okay, if you consider one single phase supply, okay, in this I can get 3 different waveforms. I can get a voltage of this kind. If I get 3 pulses in a single waveform. So this is a 2-pulse converter. So in this case, I can get in a single cycle, I can get only 2 pulses. But if I go for a 3-phase converter, okay, I can get a 3-pulse output, or I can also get a 6-pulse output. So if I get a 6-pulse output, what will happen, Ma? Can you tell me? If I am getting 6 pulses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I can get a 6 pulse, what is the advantage I am going to get?
Less ripple factor.
Very good. Very good. Who is this? Who answered this, Ma? Keshav, very good. So here, if we go for 6 pulse, the voltage is more smoother, and if you observe the current also will be mostly smoother. So this is what is expected by any UPS or any inverter or any converter circuits. Not inverter, but any rectifier circuit. Okay. So your laptop or your CPU doesn't require a pulsated current. Okay, its health is decreasing. I mean, its life cycle decreases. But if you are going to have a more smoother current, okay, which is having less harmonics, so then it is going to improve the life of the equipment. And not only that, you are going to efficiently control the equipment. And in addition to this, if you take a motor, in the previous case, we have seen a motor, Ma. Yes, this is a motor. So even if in the case of a motor, you must have a very smoother speed and smoother torque. What will happen if in an electric vehicle, Ma, if you don't have a smoother speed, if you don't have a smoother torque, what will happen? The vehicle will go like a rickshaw. The vehicle will go like animals rickshaw. I mean, the ox rickshaw, you know, na? Right? That is used ox bullock cart. Your electric vehicle will not be a vehicle, but it will become a bullock cart if it goes with a jerky movement. So to avoid that, we go for 3-phase converters. The advantage of 3-phase converters is they are going to provide a smoother waveforms, a smoother current, and they are going to provide smoother torque and speed characteristics if you implement for drives. Drive in the sense, drive is nothing but a machine connected with a converter. So, and suppose if you are using the same for power supply, okay, if you have power supplies, we are using DC power supplies, right? We are using DC power supplies to charge our laptops or to provide some DC accessories. So in such cases also, if you are getting a smoother DC waveform, that is advantageous. It is having less ripple content, and the life of the equipment is also improves. So that is why we are always preferring 6-pulse converters. So do you have any idea? We have these 6-pulse converters, Ma, in our laboratory, in one of our laboratories which you have done in your second year, and 3-1 also. I mean, now we are not doing. So in second year, what labs you have done, Ma? What labs you have handled? I think everyone can answer this. What labs you have handled in second year, Ma? 2-1 and 2-2. Sirish, Divya, Sharda, Sahiti, anyone can answer this, Ma? Charanya.
EC lab.
BST lab, EC lab, EM1 lab.
Very good. EM1 lab. So in EM1 lab, what are the machines you had, Ma? You had DC machines or AC machines in EM1 lab?
DC machines.
Yes, very good. You have DC machines. So what is the supply we get in our college, Ma? The supply we get in our college is 3-phase AC supply. So did you observe any rectifiers there in our DC machines lab, Ma? Okay, no problem. When you come for EM2 lab, I think now you are doing EM2 lab now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So when you come to this EM2 lab, I think am I audible, Ma? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can observe a 3-phase rectifier in a lab. So please visit that, see that. So using that, we are converting 3-phase AC supply into DC, which is used to the DC motors in your lab. Right? Did you get DC supply in your lab, Ma? EM1 lab?
Yes, sir.
That DC supply is a rectified DC supply which we are getting from the three-phase supply with the help of a rectifier. Okay, ma? Right? So you can see that in your lab when you're coming for the next time to the lab. Okay. Now, very briefly, with this introduction, I'll just very briefly revise what we have discussed till now. I mean, in the previous classes. Okay. So I'll just, is my presentation visible to everyone? Is my presentation
Yes,
screen
sir.
visible? Okay. If you
Yes, sir,
have
we
any
are
doubt, you
listening.
can stop me. Yeah, okay. If you have any doubt, you can stop me and ask me. So phase control rectifier, I told you why these are called as controlled, and I also told you why this is a phase control. Right. Now, the main function of a rectifier is to convert a fixed AC to variable DC, and this fixed AC to DC variable is possible only in the case of a controlled rectifier. And those rectifiers are called as uncontrolled rectifiers. What rectifiers are called as uncontrolled rectifiers, ma? Diode rectifiers are called as uncontrolled rectifiers. So controlled rectifier only has thyristors or transistors also. Okay, half controlled means it is a combination of thyristors and diodes. So that is why you call it as half controlled converter. Okay, uncontrolled means it has only diodes. Okay, so this is the basic classification of the rectifiers. Rectifiers are classified into single phase rectifiers and three phase rectifiers, and you can also use the name. What is meant by line commutated rectifier, ma? Or line commutated converter? Did you listen to this word? In your syllabus also, you will observe line commutated converter. What is this line commutated converter, ma? Okay, we'll discuss that later. Okay, so here in this screen, you can see in single phase again, you have half wave and full wave. And again, in this full wave, you have midpoint, which is also called a split supply or center tapped transformer based converter, or you can have a full bridge converter. So these are the two classifications. Coming to three phase, in three phase also, we have the same thing. We can have an half wave, we can have an half bridge and a full bridge, and half wave and full wave. And in addition to that, we also have semi-controlled or half-controlled and fully controlled. Okay, so we call it as semi-controlled or half-controlled whenever we have a combination of thyristors and diodes. And when all of them are thyristors or switches like SCR, like transistors, IGBT, MOSFET, then also we can call them as fully controlled converter. Any doubt till this point of time, ma? Any doubt till this point of time, ma?
No, sir.
So here, in the case of a single phase, okay, in the case of uncontrolled, we use a diode, ma. So please remember that in the case of uncontrolled, we are using a diode. In the case of half controlled, we use both diodes and what are we using here, ma? We will be using both diodes and transistors or thyristors. Okay, SCR. I am drawing a SCR here. Okay, one diode and a SCR. And here fully controlled means we are using all thyristors only. We are using all thyristors. Okay, and this presentation is not made by me. You can find this presentation which is done by Farooq bin Poyan. This is available on internet. Okay, I'm just sharing this for you to understand as this is the first class. Okay, ma. So in a fully controlled, all the switches are thyristors or SCRs. Okay, in a half controlled, we have some SCRs and some diodes. Uncontrolled means all the switches used are diodes only. And now phase controlled rectifiers, in that an SCR does not become conducting immediately after its voltage has become positive. Right? Why? Because it has to achieve the latching current. Okay, latching current is the minimum current that is required to make an SCR to conduct. So this happens only when you give a very high forward voltage, that is called as forward voltage triggering, dV by dt triggering, or by using light triggering, or by using gate triggering, or by using thermal triggering. These are different turn-on methods you might have understood, right? So here, mostly in most of the cases, we are going to turn on the SCR by using a gate signal only. We are not going for thermal triggering. We are not going for forward voltage triggering, or we are not going for dV by dt triggering. But in all those cases, we are going to give a very high pulse, or we are going to give, sorry, not a high pulse, but we are going to give a pulse at the gate, and we are going to turn on the SCR. Okay, ma. So now, so it is possible to make the thyristor conduct at any point. That means we can turn on the SCR at any point of time to get the output. And where are these used? So as I told you, these are used not only for power supplies, all the power supplies, okay, wherever you have rectifiers, wherever you have UPS with inverters, okay, wherever you have DC-DC direction. Do you know where DC-DC bidirectional converters are used, ma? DC-DC converters. DC-DC converters are now being used in fuel cell electric vehicles. You know fuel cell electric vehicles? What is a fuel cell? In fuel cell electric vehicles, they use DC-DC converters, which are also called as DC converters. Okay, choppers. They are also called as choppers, DC choppers. DC to DC, they can get fixed. They can get DC variable output from a fixed DC supply. Okay, so wherever you have power supplies like rectifiers, right, chargers, mobile adapters, and computer supplies, UPS, inverters, right, fuel cell electric vehicles and electric vehicles, there we are using these power electronic devices. In addition to that, for control of various motors like DC motor, if you take a Indian Railway. Yes, ma. No answer. What are the motors we are currently using in Indian Railways? Are we using motors or are we going for? Are we using steam engines? Yes, ma. No one is answering. Only 31 in the class and very few are answering. Nikhil, are you there? Or am I there in the class? Or am I disconnected from the class? Ramya, are you there? Ramya, are you in the class? Anirudh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So
DC,
what are
DC motors, sir, I guess.
DC series motors? Very good. And the other motors? Okay. Recently, if you observe from 2008, 2010, 2005 onwards, these DC series motors are being replaced by three-phase induction motors. Okay, so we have DC series motors and we have three-phase induction motors. So these electric vehicle systems, they are called as traction systems. Okay, traction means it is used for movement from one place to another place. So these converters are also used in these traction systems. Okay, electric traction means it is a drive which is used with the help of, it is a drive, okay, which has this, which has this combination of motors and the converters. Okay, so these drives, electric traction, they are to be controlled with the help of converters. You can use rectifier. If you are using a DC series motor, we use rectifiers. Suppose if it is a three-phase induction motor, we don't directly use a AC voltage controller. We convert that AC to DC and again DC to AC. So you have a rectifier as well as a DC link and also an AC inverter. So these three things are put in the engine, or what you call the first compartment or the engine of the electric vehicle, okay, or the train. Similarly, for high voltage DC transmission system, so some countries have already implemented high voltage DC transmission system. In India, we are not preferring much. We have very few lines. So in this high voltage DC transmission means initially we have AC. AC is converted to DC. It is transmitted and again it is converted to AC. So in between there you have a DC link. So that transmission is called as high voltage DC transmission. So in that we are going to use converters like rectifiers, inverters, and also DC-DC converters, etc. So there also we are using power electronic converters, and also in electromagnetic power supplies. So in power supplies which are with electromagnetic applications, okay, there also we are using this power converters. Okay, and then these are the various converters. You have already studied these converters. Okay, and in the next class I am going to revise three-phase converters anyhow. So these are the classifications of half wave, full wave, okay, full wave rectifier with midpoint or center tap transformer, full bridge conversion, full bridge configuration, right? And then we also, these are also classified based on the pulse number, like 2 pulse, 3 pulse, 6 pulse, okay, right here, single pulse, 2 pulse, 3 pulse, 6 pulse. So what is a single pulse rectifier, ma? Where do we get single pulse, ma? Do you get a single pulse in full wave? Where do you get a single pulse, ma? Again silent. Where do we get single pulse converter, ma? No one is answering.
Full wave rectifier.
Yeah, in a full wave rectifier, we get two pulse. We get a single pulse in a half bridge converter.
Half wave.
Okay, half wave. In a half wave rectifier, we get a single pulse converter. That is called as a single pulse converter. Am I clear, ma? Yes, I request everyone to be responsive in the class. I want everyone to answer. Even if your answer is wrong, nothing is going wrong, right? I'm going to correct you. I want maximum response in the class. I want the session to be an interactive session, as this is an online session. Okay, I am feeling as if I am disconnected from the class. You are there in the class, but I am not there in the class, as very few are responding. Okay, this must change, ma. I want everyone to say yes for this. Just unmute yourself and say, yes, sir, will be responsive, or some answer from your side, please. Are you there in the class, ma? I want you to respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Still, there are some sleeping classmates in the class. Very good. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Now I request everyone to post your attendance in the chat box, ma. I request you for this class, you post in the chat box. From the next class onwards, I'll call you one by one. Okay. I request everyone to post your attendance in the chat box. From the next class onwards, I'll take it physically. Okay. I'll put an Excel paper, and when you answer, I'll just mark your attendance. Okay. So please do this fastly, ma. Then I'll stop the class. Please don't leave the class until I stop the class, so that as I am taking the attendance, that will be recorded here. Yeah. From the next class onwards, I want everyone to respond. Okay. I'll be calling a specific name. I request you to unmute, and you must be visible. I am visible throughout the class. I expect you also to be visible. Then only I'll feel happy, and the class will be interesting. Okay. Is that clear, ma? Can we leave the class? Can I stop the class, ma? Everyone responded?
Yes, sir.
I should get 31 responses. As 31 are available in the class today. Okay, ma. Then. Okay. Sirish, did you respond, ma? Did you give your attendance, Sirish?
Yes, sir.
Sirish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, then. So tomorrow I request